Yep, and then we got another ace on the bottom. We got Nine of Pentacles. And this just also feels like stillness. And it's funny because we went from stillness to the fast moving chariot back to stillness. And it feels like trust your flow, you know, trust that it may come in waves, you know. Life is ebbs and flows. It's not just a consistent speed or consistent momentum, you know. It comes and it goes. It comes, it goes. And it's like this slow progression towards everything. And it feels like allow your life to be that too. And I'm being drawn to this, how it feels like an eclipse. And it feels like don't allow the material world and the things that you're chasing after and the things you're trying to bring in for yourself to block your light and to block your connection to it all. Because it's like all these things are a product of you. They're all energy. And it's like at no point should you be allowing these things to become bigger than you, you know, or these things to chase when it's like they're a part of your world, you know. They're just a part. They're there to help you live your best life ever. So at the point it's making you not live a life you're not proud of, or it's draining you and it's doing all these things, like you're out of alignment anyway, because that's not the point. The point of it is for you to be able to work with these energies. And like money is just an energy. It's like an energy turned physical, but at the root of it, it's just an energy exchange, you know. Like I give you this energy, especially even if you're working for, you know, you worked for, you got the money. It's like, all right, you gave your energy, here's the money. And then you use the money to go do other things. It's just a continuous energy exchange. But at the root of it is you and your energy. Like, so it's not anything outside of yourself, you know. It's just like a tangible representative and symbol of your energy. And it's like as you're giving your energy away, it's like that's what you're saying it's worth, you know, a couple $100s or a couple thousand, whatever. It's like, so it's like understand as you're kind of chasing it, like it's going to continue to feel like it's escaping you because it's you're chasing your tail, you know. And I'm seeing that clearly, like chasing your tail and wondering like why you're not getting closer and why it's running around, because it's like it's you. Like if you just stop, turn, and like you can just grab it, bro. Like it's your tail. So it's like as long as you're sitting there like, oh, I'm trying to get my tail, it's like it's gonna be this thing. And it feels like be still, and being still allows you to see that. And you realize just how much the physical really does come last, you know. How spirit and all these things, it plays up at higher dimensions, how all this is just manifestations of energy, manifestations of spirit and all that. I'm being drawn to how his head's a cloud and his body is kind of fading, and you can see the horse through his body. And it's just kind of like realizing in that stillness that you are spirit, and that's the reality of the situation, and that all of this is products of that energy, manifestations of energy of that spirit. And as long as you're chasing results, as you're chasing the physical things that are born of you at higher dimensions, it's just backwards and it's just out of alignment. And then at the bottom, we got Ace of Wands, which is our third ace of the evening, or of the afternoon. And it just feels like now this is an opportunity for a change in the way you act, a change in the way you cultivate your magic, you use your magic, you work with your magic, as you understand that, oh, like this is all results. Like the true power is in my ability to create, my ability to work with these things, my ability to envision things for myself and just take the steps in that direction to ground them in, to bring them in for myself. It changes the way you show up. It changes the way you create. It changes the way you express yourself. You express that passion, that energy, that highly potent and charged energy that's within you. And it feels like that's the next opportunity here, as you allow yourself to be still and realize that all this stuff is born of you, and that you are the center of your universe, and everything that you interact with is through that connection to yourself. So it's like the more you connect to yourself, the more you're able to connect to money. The more you're able to connect to yourself, the more you're able to connect with love and other people and all that stuff. But it's like at the root of it all is you. So at the point where you give yourself energy last and you allow all these things to be bigger than the program, you have to understand that your life will be a product of everything being bigger than your program, you know? You can't make everything bigger than, you know, when you feel like resting, but you don't give yourself a chance to rest because you feel like all these things are so important. You can't expect your life to treat you like you're the most important thing, you know? Because you don't treat yourself like you're the most important thing. You treat yourself like, you know, once everything else is taken care of, then I can give myself this. Then I can treat myself. Then I can do self-care once I feel like I deserve it and the rest of the world is taken care of, and now I can rest. Now I can you know, give myself a treat to celebrate that, you know, I took care of everything. But it's like, understand that you're just going to keep getting reasons to do that. You're, at no point will your world be a place that puts you first, because it all is born of you, and you have to put yourself first in order for your reality to put you first, in order for the world to feel like it puts you first, and that you to feel like you're the center of your universe. And it's like, I feel like if you feel like you're a side character, you don't matter in your own life, it's like, how do you treat yourself? And I'd be willing to bet that you treat yourself that way too, you know? You treat yourself as a side character. You treat yourself like everything else comes first. And once everything's taken care of, then you get to get whatever you need to get for yourself, you know? And this feels like just an opportunity to change that and allow you to really take that wand back into your hand, put yourself back at the center of your universe and your reality, and move in that way, and trust that that's what's in the best interest of literally everything you involve yourself in, you know? Because if things start to fall away as you do that, understand that they're just non-alignment to what's best for you. Because doing what's best for you will never make you lose out on things that are what's best for you. Because there will be resonance, you know? As I do what's best for me, that puts me in resonance to things that are best for me. Just like as I do the things that I know that aren't what's best for me, that puts me in resonance to other things that aren't what's best for me. You know, that relationship that comes in as I'm doing what's not best for me, I can't expect it to be a relationship that's what's best for me, you know? Because I wasn't in that attuned to that frequency as I attracted it in. And we're all big magnets at the end of the day. So it's like, if you're tuned to a frequency of self-sacrificing, of shrinking, of minimizing, understand that that's going to put you in direct dissonance to things that are what's best for you. So it's like, as you do that, you'll also see the things that, you know, you love start to fall away, you know, that relationship that's so aligned to you, you're going to feel at odds with it as you continue to show up inauthentically in your life, as you continue to make everything else more important than you. Understand that that relationship that you attracted in at the point where you were surrendered and showing up and choosing what's best for you, understand that you're going to feel at odds with it. You're going to be like, damn, like, I don't know, I feel kind of disconnected from this thing. It's like, yeah, because you've been attuned to a different frequency. And it's like, you can't have it both, you know? If you're attuned to a frequency of your highest vibration, understand that things that aren't your highest vibration, they will start to crumble and fall away, you know? The towers will start to topple, and that's in your best interest anyway, to create room for more things that are what's best for you. It's not a sign that things are wrong, but understand that just in that same way, as you're attuned to your lowest timeline into a frequency that's not a match, understand that the things that are matched for you will start to have, there will be tension. Because it's like, as you continue to give your energy to sustaining these low vibrational dynamics, the high vibrational ones that you're not attuned to at that moment will become unstable, because your energy is not there. You're not attuned to that frequency. So it's like, you're choosing timelines, and it's like, you can't have both, you know, and nothing happens in a vacuum. So it's like, if you're choosing your highest your timeline, you got to continue to choose that relentlessly. And if you're choosing your lowest one, hey, choose that relentlessly. But you're truly doing a disservice by being in between and playing foot in, foot out, foot in, foot out, because now you're giving your energy to both. You're going to feel scattered. You're going to feel drained. And you're not going to see the results that you want to see. You're going to feel at odds, and you're going to feel in between worlds. You're going to feel at odds with your entire reality, because you're not truly in either. You know, you stay in this space between, you know, teeter-tottering between high vibe and low vibe, trying to keep it all at once. And it's like, why? Commit to the high vibrations, commit to the low vibration, but commit so you can kind of get some type of stability at some point. But as long as you're in between, you're going to always feel teeter-tottered and unstable until one wins out. And it's like, the choice is already made. You know where you want to be at, but it's like truly surrendering and allowing that to be the case. And this feels like the golden opportunity to decide, and really decide and move in that direction, and not in a direction like, okay, I'm going to go this direction, I'm going to see, but really surrendering, like, this is what I'm doing now, and wherever that takes me, I'm willing to go there. And yeah, it feels like that's the opportunity you're being given right now. And under that is the star. And that just feels like wish fulfillment, you know, realizing that you were able to do that this whole time, and that you are one with everything. Like, look, they're bathing in the stars. Like, they're in, this is a cosmic space here, but it's pouring like water. And it's like, look, bathing in it. And it's like, that's the reality of the situation. It's like, you're a part of all these things, and things may not have been what they appear to be, you know? And it's like, allow these things to be beautiful, and realize just how one with it you all are, and just how one it all is, you know? It's like, that's what's here for you right now. But it takes you choosing yourself and choosing it in a way that's final, you know? not being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give this 2 weeks, and then if I don't see results, I'm gonna get scared and go back. But it's kind of like I'm surrendered. So it's like at the point these anxious thoughts come up and the shoulds and the pressures and all that come up, I'm not listening to them. Like no matter what, like I'm committed to this journey. I'm committed to allowing this to unfold. And it's like boom. And it feels like under that the hermit, you know. And it would look more water energy. It's like surrendering to that flow and understanding that the flow, you're never disconnected from it. Even if you can't see it, it's like it's there. You're a part of it. And it's like even the star card with them bathing in the stars, it's like you didn't even know that this was water. And it's like, wow, there's flow here too. And it's like, yes, the flow is everywhere. There's no escaping it. The flow is who you are. It's like, boom. And through all this, I'm also being drawn to the darkness in these cards. And it just feels like intuition, trusting your intuition being connected to it all, and always having a view that's higher than yours, you know? Because like as you're down here surrounded by all these walls, up here is you as well, at a higher vantage point, still connected to the sun, you know? I'm being drawn to how the moon is reflecting the sun's light, you know? And it's like, it may seem dark or whatever, it may seem separate, but at the end of the day, your light is always present. That flow is always present. You're always protected. You're always being watched over, and you're always connected to it all. And it's like, trust that. Please trust that. And don't lean onto your own physical eyes, and trust that, and know that the 3D is just results, you know? None of this was born right in this second, you know? This tree is a product of past intentions, past seeds being planted, past everything. This jersey was not just made this second and then appeared on my body. Like, it's a product of a past idea, past work, past labor. I thrifted this too, so it's a product of past ownership, them, you know, experiencing it and then deciding to give it up. And when they did, and then I found it when I did, like, it was born of a lot of things that had nothing to do with me, a lot of things I will never even know the true gravity of. And it's not for me to know, but it all came together as it did to be here in this moment right now, for me to be on my body, for you guys all to see it. And, you know, it's like, there's just so much, and there's no coincidence. So it's like, I'm not responsible for all that. I don't need to know where it was made. I don't need to know its entire story in order to benefit from it right now, you know, or in order to benefit from the warmth or the energy that it has, or the way it makes me feel, or any of that. It's just not my burden to carry. It's not for me to know, and I don't need to know it. So this just feels like, and thank you, Haley. And this just feels like that same call of just understanding that, like, you don't need to know everything. You just need to understand that you're connected to this flow, feel the flow and ride it out. Show up for it, allow it to have space in your experience, and trust that it will take you everywhere it needs to take you, and that there's so many things that are working in your favor to get you there. And it's like you're able to do that more and more as you silence the noise, as you remove a lot of these distractions, as you disconnect from a lot of the programming, the fear and all that that's designed to keep you disconnected from that very connection and that flow by design, like literally by design. So yeah, understand that you will never see these things super mainstream. You'll never be told to go do these things at a super wide level until, you know, everybody just knows it, and that's just the world we live in. But understand, if you're waiting for permission to trust yourself, if you're waiting for permission to know that you're connected to it all, if you're waiting for the rest of the world to catch up, understand that you'll forever be disconnected. And right now, you're being called to be ahead of the curve. You're being called to be part of that proof that allows the world to shift into these things, you know? And it's like, everybody's not hearing these things. Everybody's not at a place to even be able to wrap their mind around a lot of these things. So as someone who is, that's your responsibility to ground these things in and allow them to be grounded in through you. Allow yourself to be the living proof, and then trust that the world will come along when they do. But yeah, it's like, if you're hearing it, it's a responsibility for, and look, I just split right back to it. And I didn't even really split intentionally. I just felt called to kind of just, and boom, right back to the hermit. It's like, trust that you can't make this stuff up, y'all. And I just did it again. Wow. And on the other split, I split back to the stillness. And it's like, you can't make this stuff up. So it's like, at the point where you see all this unfold and you understand it to be just as magical as it all is, what is the reason to be upholding all this conditioning and all this fear and still be moving into in this programming that's been put on you, when you know that the reality of the situation is this, and there's no coincidence, and you know that. So it's like, yeah, the call to detach and really move in your knowings is so big right now, like so big. The time to see, the time to test it out, the time to just kind of dabble and like kind of just play with, like, ooh, this is so magical, like this is so nice, like wow, this is so dope, is over. Like it's far more deep than that at this point. It's like you came here for a reason, you're getting these things for a reason. Now it's time to embody embody them, stand in them, allow yourself to be seen and grounded in, and trust that that's how you get to the next step. Like there's nothing else to be experienced at this level. It's like you've done it, so you're gonna start to feel stagnant, you're gonna start to feel stuck, you're gonna start to feel like, wow, like, okay, like I'm doing all these things, where's everything else? And it's like, are you embodied? Are you truly embodied? Are you still allowing these programs to run in your life unchecked when you know them to be programs, when you know it to be conditioning? Are you making excuses for them? Are you defending them? Are you upholding your own oppression? Like, and look, as I say, upholding your own oppression, it's like this is the Nine of Swords, and this feels like illusion in itself. And it's like, yeah, these feel like swords. They're not even tangible physical swords. They're like swords born of his own mind. He's hiding from himself. He's allowing these things to exist, knowing that he knows that they aren't even real. They're BS. They're illusions. He knows that. And it's like, but they're still so scary. And he's like, he doesn't completely trust himself in order to, the way he needs to, which would make not giving these any energy easy, Because the only reason I could imagine that you would know all these things and know just the truth of all this and still be allowing conditioning and all that to play out in your existence is because you don't truly trust yourself, Because if you don't truly trust yourself, then you don't even know, like, okay, I know these things to be true, but if I don't trust myself, can I trust these thoughts? Can I trust this unfoldment? Or am I, making it up or all whatever? And it's like, that's the call right now, is to do what you need to do to be able to trust yourself. Because you know these things, you've seen the magic play out, you've seen it play out in your own experience, you've seen your own magic work out. And it's like, what's the disconnect? Why are you still following conditioning? Why are you still allowing all these things to pressure you and make you do this and that when you know that they're illusions at the end of the day? And the only reason I could come up with is that you don't truly trust yourself. And it feels like there's importance in admitting that, and in admitting that you allow that energy to move as okay, I don't trust myself. Why don't I trust myself? Now you can kind of engage with it and you can question it, because it's an illusion. As you question it and work with it, it'll disintegrate slowly but surely until it's nothingness, because it was always nothingness. It was based in BS. It's not the truth of the situation. But until you kind of understand that you don't trust yourself, then it will always escape you. Like you'll always be like, damn, like what's going on? I'm doing all the things right. And it's like, the final thing is embodiment and really surrendering to yourself. And if you don't trust yourself, that's impossible. You'll never be able to surrender yourself, because you'll always question it. As soon as things get hard, you're going to look in the mirror. You're going to feel like you're doing something wrong. You're going to try to be like, oh, am I misguided? Like, maybe I need to do more, or like all those things. But it's like, come into union with yourself on the bottom. We've got Two of Cups with the fire in between. And it feels like trust yourself. And it feels like more of that unity between the shadow self and yourself. And it's like, yeah, allow these things to come into nature. Wow, that's interesting. And yeah, if you are nature and you are a part of the flow of everything that is, and it's like, as long as you continue to look at yourself as if there was a way for you to get out of alignment, as if there was a way for you to be separate and disconnected from it all, that you will continue to see those type of results. But it's like, you're a part of the universe. You are God embodied. You're the universe embodied. You're the grass, you're the trees, you're the animals, you're everything. And it's like, trust yourself. If anything, the way you trust God, the way you trust the universe, trust yourself, because you are an embodiment of those very energies. And if you can trust all this but not trust yourself, you're disconnected. So definitely take a look at that and realize that you are it all, and come into union with yourself and look around and realize that you're just seeing a bunch of reflections of yourself, good, bad, and ugly, It's all you at different frequencies vibrating differently. So, and look, under that, allow your heart and your head to come into balance, your mind and your heart, your soul and your mind, your soul and your body, allow all that to come into balance. And then look, the ear here, it's like, and then listen to it. Trust what it's telling you. Trust the communication that you're receiving from that connection to it all. and really surrender, man. Like that just keeps being the call. And then look, and then it's funny because this is 2, but in Roman numerals it looks kind of like an 11 to me. And then this is 11, Justice card, and under that we have another 2, and it feels like 11, and then it's coming into balance, the 2 of Pentacles, and it's like there's a lot of balance here right now and coming together, and like we continue to say, it's like really uniting all these things and realizing that they're not separate, you know, that they're all together. And I'm being drawn to the pomegranate on one side and the fire on the other side. It's like spirit and the actions you take are very much connected. So it's like if you're taking action without that spiritual side of it, understand that it's an empty action. It's not serving you. So it's like it has to be a spiritual yes, and it has to be alignment to the action and come together to truly, really, really move that infinite energy and to really, you know, be able to have all the elements at your disposal. It has to be together, because there is no separation. So at the point where you're moving in separation, it's like, yeah, my spirit is not into this. It's not really inspired. This is really just born of my mind and my body and all that, but my spirit's kind of taking a back seat. Understand that the impact won't be as profound as it should be and it can be. So it's like, you have to bring all these things into union. You have to bring all these things into union. And yeah, and that doesn't mean, like I said, that doesn't mean just wait for inspired action to find you or inspired calls to find you. It's like, do the things that cultivate you, you know? If you really want to go work on something, okay, go watch something that makes you feel inspired. Go pay attention to something that naturally makes you feel inspired, and then work from there, you know? Go act in that point. But if you do not allow yourself to just be moving from disempowered places, from like, oh, I feel like I have to do that, so let me go do it. And you're spending the whole time like, just waiting to be done, when it's like, yo, if you really, really felt like you had to go do that, okay, at least get inspired first, at least, you know, at least go reconnect to your why. Go watch some videos of people trying different things that you haven't tried, and then be like, all right, like I'll go do this work, you know, but at least let me try something new in it, to where now it becomes play, because now I'm trying something new. I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm doing something that I always do from a perspective I've never seen it from. So where now at least it has that some play in it, has some type of inspiration in it. It's not entirely just, I'm just doing this. And because it's like, that's your energy is way too valuable, and you're way too divine. You're way too cosmic, way too everything to be moving like that, you know? Like, you deserve to be moving in ways that make you feel fulfilled. And your work should feel like this, you know? Like you're moving mountains, like you're performing alchemy, like you have the whole world at your disposal, and not at your disposal, because that sounds wasteful, but that wants to work with you, because all these elements want to work with you. And the things you're working on should make you feel like this, like you're literally doing magic, you're literally performing alchemy, you're literally doing divine ass work. And it's like, it can feel like this as long as you cultivate that energy and that connection to the things you're doing. And if things absolutely just have no way to make you feel that way, then it's probably just not aligned for you to be doing it. But yeah, definitely take that into your own hands, you know, as far as just the inspiration and cultivating it. If you really, really feel like, okay, like I need to be doing something, all right, at least get inspired first, at the very least. Yeah, and then under that, we got the 9 of Cups. And this just feels like the culmination after you've done all that. It's like kind of like getting the results and realizing that, you know, there's these cups, and it feels like different things you've tried and different ways of being that you've experienced and tried. And then, you know, and it feels like certain things you tried all the way to the end, certain things you changed directions on. And then this cup right here is full, but it's just not the right one. It's like you didn't even give that one too much weight. And it's like there's this one cup down here that's empty. And then there's this cup down here that's spilling like this majestic purple divine color down, that's spilling out of the frame. And it just feels like, don't feel like you have to stick in any of these places longer than you need to, you know? Once you realize it doesn't work for you, let it go. And trust that you're being more and more refined as you do that. And yeah, it feels like the very next cup as you do this, and then as you surrender to the flow of you, this next cup is the cup. It's the one you've been looking for. It's the one you've been trying to cultivate and bring into your existence. And it's like, all you have to do is follow yourself and trust yourself and yeah, allow these things to fall away as they become clearly not you, you know? Yeah, and there's just more, the energy is just full of just the same vibes, the same energy. It's like under that is the hangman. And it just feels like, yo, surrender to yourself, surrender to you. And it might feel scary, you know, like it's a whole snake as the rope. But it's like, it's going to be scary until you do it. And then as you do it, once you fully surrender, you're like, forget it, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Then you realize like, oh, that snake's still chilling. Like it could bite the shit out of me, but it's not biting me. It's like, yeah, because it's always been trying to work with you. And snakes get a bad rap, but snakes are very spiritual. They're very holy. They're very divine, honestly. So it's like, remember that a lot of this stuff is condition based, you know. The very things that are in our best interest that will make us feel empowered are the very things that we're taught to be afraid of, you know. So the scary it is a lot of the time, it's chances are you might want to look there, you know, that there might be something that's being hidden from you in the fear, you know. So it's like, if it feels uncomfortable to rest, if it feels uncomfortable to sit still and not be productive and not be pushing up against the wall when you don't feel called to push up against the wall, that's important information right there. That's an indicator that that's exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you know? Because you felt so comfortable in it, and then you told me like, it just doesn't feel like I'm supposed to be doing it, then I trust it more. But if you feel uncomfortable and you're like, I don't, you know, it's all these things, then that just tells me that, you know, you're just not used to it. And, you know, that's that conditioning rearing its head, like, you looking a little stagnant. You sure you're not doing all the things? There's stuff on your plate and you're chilling, like, you're wasting your potential, you know, all these things that are bullshit, to be honest, like, plain and simple bullshit. And it's like, but you don't get to see that until you surrender, until you know, give into that snake a little bit and be like, all right, let me see. And then boom, then you'll realize, oh, okay, I can do this. But it's like, yeah, you have to make that first decision. And that will always be the case, you know. If you wait for the outside to push you in that direction, it will never. You will only get more reasons not to do it. You only get more things that say that you can't trust it. You can't trust yourself. You have to continue to just do what they say you're supposed to do, and then you'll get the results. And it's like, that's not the world we're living in anymore. And under that, we got Six of Swords. And this feels like another call to remember that you're infinite. And that and trust that your mind and all that is supposed to be serving you. And that take the thoughts that feel like where you're going, take the things that pour into your cup and that make you feel the ways you're trying to feel, you know, the things that make you feel free, that make you feel charged and inspired and abundant, and take those things and head off and follow your GPS inside you and ride off into the light, follow the energy, and trust that that's leading you exactly where you need to go. You see, there's no paddles, there's no oar in this picture, there's nothing that historically would tell you is used to you know, to push yourself and to propel you towards movement, right? But he's moving. And he's moving right towards that sun with no hands. You can't even see his arms. Like, there's no force at all in this picture, but there's all flow again. And it's flowing right into the sun. And it's like, that's what you're being offered right now too. It's like, yo, force is not the way forward, period. Not right now, not in the future, at no point again. So it's like, the quicker you surrender to it, the more you can see the truth of that and get your proof back. But the more you fight it, eventually you're going to give into it because it's the truth, you know. The truth is the truth, and it will be seen more and more as, you know, people continue to ground it in, as more people, like, we're not the only ones having these conversations. So it's like, as more and more people do it, as the collective does it more and more, the truth will be seen more and more, and it will become more and more present in our reality. And if you wait till then to do it, then you'll be missing out on what's so available to you right now. And you're hearing this message right now because it's available to you right now. You know, everybody's not hearing it. Like I said, we're not the only ones having these conversations, but everybody's not receiving these things either. So it's like, all you're being asked to do is, you know, surrender to it and surrender to yourself, because at the end of the day, it's all going to make you feel more empowered anyway, you know. It's not for anybody else. Nobody else benefits off of it outside of you, you know, and aside the rest of the collective in time. But yeah, choose yourself and choose what feels like you and choose what resonates, you know. And I know if you continue to be here every week, you continue to hear these messages, and you're still here as I'm talking about, that it resonates with you, you know. So it's like, boom, right on the bottom, we've got 10 of Pentacles. It's like, don't lean into your own eyes. The truth of it all, it's all born within you first, you know. It's all born within you first. Like, you feel rich on the inside long before you become rich. You feel loved and supported long before you see the proof of that outside you, you know? It's born inside you and then it gets reflected on the outside. So it's like you have to cultivate these energies within yourself, and there's no way to do that while, you know, falling into what the mainstream tells you can do and what you're supposed to be doing and running all these programmings and these conditionings, because they'll never lead you to yourself. They'll never lead you to slowing down. They'll never lead you to any of that stuff in which your magic is cultivated. The very things that are pushed are in direct opposition to your magic, in direct opposition to divine flow and universal everything. All this is the upside down a lot of the times. So if you find yourself in alignment to a lot of the things that are being taught and a lot of the things that are being pushed, trust that you're probably on the wrong side of the fence more times than not. If you find yourself with the masses and pushing the same thing the masses are pushing, chances are you're disconnected from the truth of the situation here. But understand that it's all here for you. It's all here for you. And this is your freedom. This is the call from within the house to free yourself. It's like Judgment Day is here, and it's like it's time to make a decision once and for all. Like, you've been hearing this for a while, and it's been nice to flirt with the energies and to dabble a little bit, but it's like the next step, and the only actual step to take now, is full surrender, full detachment, full embodiment. And if you can't do that, trust that that's making a decision too. So it's like, hey, choose where you want to go, and trust that you're gonna go there. And indecision is a decision too. And look, we got the tower on the split. And it's like, hey, it's time. This is the final countdown. Things are going to be crashing down. So it's just a matter of what? Is it going to be your old self or this new self that you've been flirting with? You've seen the magic. You've seen everything that's here for you. You felt the calls. You got the synchronicities. You've gotten the timely messages, the miracles, all that. It's like, but you're still playing a teeter-totter game of back and forth. And now this is the time where something comes crashing down. And I would hope it would be that old self and the old way of living. I would hope that's what you choose. But understand that if not, then hey, it'll be this future self that you've been experiencing, that you've been getting, the appetizer of, you've been pre-gaming with, you've been experiencing. But it's like, now's the time to choose once and for all. And you choose in your actions. You choose in the way you show up when the opportunities show up, when a chance to choose the abundance or lack shows up. It's like, what are you choosing? It's like you're choosing timelines. And it's time, especially as winter is progressing and spring is unfolding. It's like, yo, make that decision and allow everything else to fall and mold itself around that. So, yeah, and as I say that, we got 2 on the bottom again. Justice on the bottom again. Ooh, and then I see the moon up here, or not the moon. I see 9 of Swords again, just as far as repeat energy. But the moon popping up when I thought it was going to be another repeat feels like a message in itself of just like, as far as just, and then the different moon phases as well. Like, there's several moons here, and we've seen a lot of moons just in the different cards today. And it just feels like, trust your intuition, man. It'll take you to the super highest heights. And look, this figure is standing on stilts, like, and going beyond the clouds, and is reaching up, to the moon. And it's like, yeah, allow your intuition to take you to those heights. And it's like, that's how you get to everywhere you're trying to go. If you try to follow the blueprint and the roads laid out by the powers that be, or the powers that were, because their time is up, honestly. We're experiencing the unfoldment of that as we speak. But not to get distracted. If you follow what's been laid out for you and what's been as the plan, as the blueprint, then understand that you'll never reach these heights. They're designed to keep you at a lower level. So it just feels like, trust that in the darkness you're being guided. It may seem like you don't know what to expect on this route, as presence, you're being called to just be present and to maybe plan less and to be less rigid and all that. Understand that it is the darkness, but understand that it's way further. You'll get way further in that darkness because there's so many possibilities, and you open yourself up to the unfoldment of miracles and possibilities and magic as you lean into the darkness more and take your hands off and be less rigid. So it just feels like a call to continue to check back in with your darkness, check back in with your own intuition, your own guidance. And under that is 7 of Cups, and then Wheel of Fortune. Oh, 7 of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. And this just feels like in that process, is that what I was just talking about, how there's unlimited possibilities as you kind of hold space for your darkness and hold space for the not knowing and the unfoldment of you. It's like the Wheel of Fortune. The tables will continue to turn in your favor as you create room for magic, as you create room for miracles. Excuse me. Confirmation burp. And this, and the hand coming right out the book feels like this is a direct product of your knowings, you know? The way forward is not through fear, is not to fall into old programming, but it's to remember your knowings, your teachings, and the connection to it all that you've cultivated through all this. And that's the way forward right now. And that's what you're being called to do. And I got frozen up for a second because I'm being drawn to this flying fish. And I remember we started off talking about how to get your flying fish. And then look, on the bottom is this card again. Oh, and I'm seeing repeats again. And it feels like it's time to wrap it up tarot. And I'm definitely going to go into Oracle a bit. But yeah, it just feels like it came full circle as far as like this is the moment now. Remember, this was a call at that moment, that very second where you truly, truly detach. And then boom, what you've been waiting on, that magical thing that seemed like a myth at times, you know, because it kept saying, oh, it's coming in. You got some surprises on the way. Oh, everything you ever wanted is here for you, you know, as you watch readings and you keep getting breadcrumbed, it feels like. And it's like, this feels like that moment where it's like, whoa, like you actually exist. Like the legendary flying fish that I've only heard so much about, that I've been working and cultivating so hard to be able to encounter. And that moment you've really just was like, you know what? It's okay. It'll come when it needs to. It's like, boom. It's like, now you're ready. And it surfaced. It flew right out the water to your hand. And it just feels like, yeah, the tables are turning, man. Your flying fish is here. And it's like, allow your darkness to lead you to the possibilities and make the choices that feel like you. And trust that your flying fish is your flying fish. So the things that feel like you and choosing the timelines that feel like you lead you to those things. So, hell yeah. And now on the bottom, like I said, there's been repeats. And it's like that 9 of Swords again. Remember, that shit's born in your head, yo. Like, these are illusions. And they're darn good illusions. Not just casted by you, but, yeah, by the collective, by the powers that were and everything. And on the bottom, I'll let this one be the last one. It's like 8 of Cups. And, yeah, you're leaving that behind, man. Allowing those cups to be empty, because they are empty. They're done. You're done with living your life like that. You're done with the program. You're done with the conditioning. There's nothing more positive for it to do in your life, you know? Like, maybe it kept you safe. Maybe it taught you things as far as how the world works. And to now you can kind of see just the program. You can see it all play out because, you know, you've experienced it. You've been a part of it. But now it's like, now it's not doing anything for you. It's not doing anything positive at all. It's only keeping you disconnected from the realities and the timelines that are ready for you right now. Not that are going to be ready for you, not that you're working towards, but that are ready for you right now. It's like all you're being asked to do is turn your back on these things and leave them behind, and don't go back to them anymore, you know? Don't succumb to them anymore. Don't allow them to make you move this way or that way anymore. Like, the time for that is done. And trust that if you continue to entangle yourself with these things, you're going to find yourself replaying these lessons again, and you're going to just sign up for another phase of your life of you learn those lessons until you can fully surrender and accept the truth that is available to us all, you know, right now, and especially available to you right now as you find yourself hearing these messages over and over and over again. Another moon on this card, and look, this time it's not even tied to the darkness. The sun's up and the moon is still there. And it's like your intuition is present always, and in your darkest hour and in your lightest hour, and it's to be trusted and followed always. And it's like, yeah, feel empowered in that, please. And that's the call right now. I'm going to shuffle and grab one more. Oh, I just saw it. And look, our final ace. We got all the aces. And it's funny because this is the Ace of Pentacles. And remember, we're talking about the physical. That comes last. And this is a representation of the physical. And it came last, right when I was ready to wrap this up. And we almost didn't get it, you know. And I wasn't searching for it. I was detached from it. I wasn't thinking about it anymore. And then boom, it presented itself right then. It's like, now you're ready for it. Now when you're not allowing it to be bigger than the program, now when you're not chasing it like it's something that's separate from you, now here you go. You're finally in the perfect place for it. And exactly, fire emojis as fuck. It's like, boom, here you go. And look, chariot right there too. We're moving. And we don't have to hold on so tightly. We don't have to sit there and try to control it. This is where we're headed for anyway. It's here for us. All we have to do is align to it. And you align to it through detachment by realizing that's all a product of you anyway. And you come first regardless. Nothing is bigger than your program. If it doesn't light you up, if it makes you unhappy, if it makes you feel less than, trust that it's not going to lead you to anywhere that makes you feel more than. It's just going to lead you to more spaces that make you feel less than, that make you feel like you have to continue to sacrifice, that you have to continue to put yourself in boxes. In that very moment where you let go, you're flying fish. And it's like, boom, that final pinnacle. Remember, the first one we got was the Ace of Cups. Change how we feel. Then we got the opportunity to change how we think, to change our relationship to our mind. And then we got the Ace of Wands. Okay, now that we did that, now we change how we act, how we show up, how we create and all that. And then boom, and at the very moment where that became enough for us, here you go. Here's everything else. Here's your pinnacles. And that's so beautiful and that's so poetic. And I couldn't create or produce or any of that. Like, that had to just unfold in the way it did. And yeah, the magic is just so loud and so apparent. Like, there's nothing I even have to say anymore at this point. It's like, yeah, it's wild, man. And then a couple sevens on the bottom. We got the Chariot, that's a 7. And then we got the 7 of Swords. And it just feels like lucky energy. And I'm also hearing God energy as well. I'm just being drawn to 7 being God and divine and supreme mathematics. And it just feels like that's the energy that's playing out right now, and that's at your beck and call right now. And yeah, this is beautiful, man. I'm really honored to be a part of this flow and to be able to experience it and to be able to mirror it and express it, honestly, because it feels so divine and so important. And yeah, y'all feel so divine and so important. And I feel like we don't even know the half of who we have here gathered today, you know? It feels like in time, like I've said this before, it feels like in time we're going to look back and realize just who we had in one space and one setting at any given time on these Mondays. And it's like, wow, we didn't even know, like, you know, like we got $1 billion boardroom right here, just sitting here meeting and convening over these things and these thoughts and these ideas. And it's like, yep, here you go, 10 of Wands. And then 6 of Swords, repeats again. It's like Ace of Cups here, Ace of Swords, they're still together kicking it, like Justice, the Moon. Yeah, it's all here. But yeah, it's our time, man. And I see the Emperor just sitting there chilling amongst the repeats. And it's like, yeah, this is your world. It's like, where you want to go, that has to be at the forefront. And that's the most important thing to remember right now. It's your world. Follow that internal call everywhere you want to go. And I'm being drawn to how this is a reflective energy, just being the Roman numerals for 4 and 6, how this is IV and then it's VI. And it's like, yeah, you're being offered the opportunity to really change your whole dynamic with how you approach your world, yo. Flip it right on its head, to reflect it, and to really put yourself at the forefront and realize that you are the center of your universe. And you're not ever, the call from the outside world will never push you to realize that and to move in that, but that's the truth. And you can't allow anything to be bigger than the program of you, because at the end of the day, you are the center point of your universe, you know? As all these things come and go, you remain. As long as you're here, it'll always be you. As the best things ever in your life fall away, as the worst things ever, you overcome them and move on from them, you remain. So you have to be the most important thing in your experience always. Always. Because you're teaching your universe and your reality how to treat you. So if you don't put yourself first, don't expect your world to put you first. Plain and simple.